In 2011, 248 identified trans people were murdered around the world. As I cannot read them all, I will share 12 names with you, representing each of the 12 months in which the murders occurred. Please rise in body and spirit for the reading of the names. Genesis Bridget McAlington, strangled on January 7th in Comayagüela, Honduras. Her body was left in front of a pharmacy. Poha Pen, also known as Poden Pen, was 53 years old when she was beaten to death with a hammer on February 15th in Georgetown, Malaysia. Priscilla Laura, 22 years old, was shot 9 times in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, by 2 men on March 2nd, 2011. On April 4th, 2011, 18-year-old Zarek was strangled in her own apartment in Bogota, Colombia. Naomi, a 27-year-old, was found in a pool of blood with a 5-gallon gas container standing next to her head on May 5th, 2011, in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. 44-year-old Nathan Eugene Davis was shot in the head and left near an apartment complex dumpster on June 13, 2011 in Houston, Texas. Cynthia Gonzalez Garrido Rodriguez was stabbed to death on July 14, 2011 in Calama, Chile. She was 46 years old. In Karachi, Pakistan, Wajahat, a 21-year-old transgender woman, was shot in her home with her partner on August 14th after the two decided to get married. Gaurav Gopal, the 35-year-old, died due to head trauma when she was shot in Washington, D.C. The shooting was the 4th in a series of attacks against trans people in Washington. 2 days later, another trans woman was shot and survived. Gaurav was murdered on September 10, 2011. Paloma Perez. Her body was found October 3rd under a bridge in a garbage bag in Lima, Peru. She had been strangled, stabbed, beheaded, and burned. She was 31 years old. 32-year-old Jessica Rowland was strangled and beaten on the streets of Cicerano, Italy on November 1st, 2011. Perla Mora was a police officer in San Juan, Argentina, an active member of the LGBT community. Her body was found beheaded, naked, and presumably raped in a car on a camping ground. She was 49 years old. Please remain standing for a moment of silence as we bear witness to the 248 lives lost to hatred and violence.
Joining the ranks of women, race, religion, and sexual orientation, the transgender community was recently added as a protected class of citizens by the EEOC to prevent workplace discrimination. This is a major step forward in the fight for human rights, and victory is now in sight. DOMA has now been found unconstitutional by 5 federal courts and is now progressing to the United States Supreme Court. These are both positive steps, but not the end result we seek. It will take a Human Rights Act passed in both the House and Senate and signed into law by our President to fully enforce full equal rights protections and to provide safeguards to ensure that no humans can ever again be denied their human rights. To ensure that equal rights for all humans remain forever the law of our land, it will ultimately require an amendment to the United States Constitution. In conclusion, I would like to draw to a close by quoting Nelson Mandela in his final statement in Long Walk to Freedom. with which I strongly identify after my own false imprisonment lasting 4 long years and ensuing legal battles of almost 15 years. Simply because I was born differently, because my rights were denied and stripped away as a transgender woman. In the words of Nelson Mandela, I have walked the long road to freedom. I have tried not to falter. I have made missteps along the way. But I have discovered the secret that after climbing a great hill, one only finds that there are many more hills to climb. I have taken a moment here to rest, to steal a view of the glorious vista that surrounds me, to look back on the distance I have come. But I can rest only for a moment, for with freedom comes responsibilities, and I dare not linger, for my long walk has not yet ended. 2 years ago in San Francisco, I was told by someone that we would never see the freedom that I've spoken about here today. And in just 2 years, the amazing victories that have come forth because of the support and the love of thinkers who believe in freedom and equality. And today I would like to applaud you for your efforts